What is up, YouTube? We have a lot of new cards to reveal today, and I am excited to have a look at them. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I rarely ask, but consider subscribing. We make a lot of cool videos for card games. So, starting off strong, let's see what we have. We're going to start off with Courage Bearer. Activates in hand. Whenever an enemy follower super evolves, give this follower Storm, and it has Rush. So 3 mana 3/1 with Rush is kind of okay. It's pretty bad, but it's kind of okay. It's kind of usable for removal sometimes. I'm comparing this to the 3 mana 3/3 from Forest, for example, which is much stronger. But Storm is insane. Storm is a very strong keyword. And this can combo with a lot of other cards for a lot of burst damage. For example, this plus Odin, 10 damage to face if you super evolve one of the two, right? So this by itself, 3 mana deals 6 to face. 3 mana deals 6 to face is scary. This, for example, you can play this with anything you can buff it. For example, you could play this with Cerberus if you have a coin. A lot of utility. I think this might see some play in some aggro decks. Now, I'm aware it's on enemy super evolve, chat. I know that, but enemies always super evolve. This is something you play in like mana 7, 8 plus, right? Obviously. The fact that it's versatile and has Rush makes it playable. I think if this didn't have Rush, it would be trash. But with Rush, I think you can see play. Probably only in decks that are very high combo decks or something like aggro. So, yeah, playable. Dead top deck, sometimes yes. I think it's possible it sees play, though. All right. Moving along, we have the cards from Portalcraft. This should be a fun one. People have been asking me to see this for a while. So, just to put things in context, Portalcraft so far has given us the Psalms card. It's a very grindy card. Heal 1 every other turn, deal 1 every other turn. It gave us a 1 mana cost spell that can be used off of that to deal 4 damage to a random enemy. And now we're getting Axia, Heir to Destruction. It is a 3 mana 2/4. Not the worst stat line, especially with Ward. Not that bad. The fact that it can't be destroyed by abilities is really strong, usually for a Ward card. Super Evolve. Deal X damage to the enemy leader. That's always scary. X is the number of other allied cards on the field. Destroy all other allied cards on the field. Ooh. So this can deal 4 to face. +1 when it kills something, which is paying 5 to face. Yeah, AoE should kill this. You're right. It should die to AoE. That's a good point. Interesting. It's like a teeny, tiny, very small Orcus in a sense, because you can use puppets to destroy them and then deal face. But then you're not using the puppets, which kind of sucks. I'm not sure. I think... So, like, this card I feel like is kind of bad, but... You do have to keep in mind that we are seeing Black Psalm, right? This card is actually, it wants to get destroyed because it has a last word. So this card makes it playable. And then we also have Melodious Monody, right? Which wants to destroy something on your field. So it looks like this will be an archetype, and I suspect we're going to see more cards that play along this archetype. So let me just move along ahead a little bit and see if there's anything else that works with it. We have a 6-drop, 6 mana 3/3. Fanfare, destroy X random enemy followers. X is the number of other allied cards in the field. Destroy all other allied cards in the field. Wow. So another card that does a very similar play. And we can look at Devastating Soprano. So it's a 2 mana spell. And select an allied card in the field, destroy it, summon a White Psalm, New Revelation. So you can actually get multiple of these on the board. Interesting. That's actually really cool. This card is actually really cool because it's a 2 mana summon, this card, right? It summons a new one for 2 mana. So now you have 2 of them on board. And now these cards make a little bit more sense. So basically you're generating these damn eggs all over. And nonstop you're pinging for 1 damage, healing for 1 damage. Now, for this to be viable, you need to play a deck that doesn't require board space, which is quite annoying because these eggs always come back, right? So you need a lot of cards that can... be useful, like this, for example. This is great. Very cheap removal. Interesting. So yeah, this would probably be a sort of staple card. Because if you have, let's say, 2 to 3 cards on the board by the time you want to play this, this is just destroy three enemies. That's solid. And not only do you destroy 3 enemies, this is an upside. Killing your own allied cards means, well, you heal for a bit, you deal a bit of damage. So I honestly think, I'm getting a little bit excited for this deck. I think I'm going to try this archetype, because I never enjoyed making like Gundam Wing or puppets. But I think this archetype might be fun. So I'm looking forward to building a deck. I think this could be cool. It could be kind of a stall deck. I just think this probably gets wrecked by Coctis Decline. I'm a little worried on how fast this deck is, because if it gets wrecked by Coctis, is it even playable? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that is it for Portal. Pretty cool. With those things in mind, like, this is actually a bit better. This is actually solid in a sense, because it can push that final piece of damage. And this is not just deal 4 damage to face. If you have, for example, 2 Black Sounds, that's deal 6 to face, 7 to face. Yeah, this card makes more sense now. And at the worst case scenario, it's a 3-mana 2/4 ward that buys you not only time, because it's a ward, but buys you a lot of time, because again, you can't destroy with abilities. So yeah, pretty cool. I like it. And if you super evolve it, it's a 5/7, right? And they actually have to do damage to it. They can't just like kill it off with a spell. Very cool. I like it. So we have Havencraft. So looking at Haven, we see a couple of new cards. Just to remind ourselves what Haven is doing these days, Haven is looking at a Crest playstyle as the new archetype. So 5-mana 2/4, Congregant of Repose. Fanfare, select an enemy follower in the field and destroy it. Solid. That reminds me of the 5-mana 4/4 that banishes. Not as good as that, obviously, but evolve, gain Crest. So it's another Crest evolve card. You're going to need, like, the problem with this is it doesn't give you a Crest unless you evolve, and evolve is already very important for Crests in the first place. Like on Windbird if you're playing Ward, etc. Countdown 4 at the end of your turn. If allied followers didn't attack this turn, draw follower with 4 defense. I don't know how I feel about that as a Crest. I don't know if you would ever want to play that. I mean, it's a lot of draw, and 4 defense is kind of good. Like chat mentioned, you can draw Aether, for example. That's not bad. If you play this on 5, you're almost guaranteed to have Aether by 7, right? Because it draws itself or Aether if you only play those as 4 mana. That's solid. That's useful if you want to be stalling with Crests, but it comes down to what kind of deck you're going to build. And I think you are playing Windbird Wall mainly because, well, he has a Crest and it's a very strong archetype, and it does well versus certain decks in the meta. But it's going to be hard to say whether this is that good or not. Like, we know that the 5-mana 4/4 banish is a lot stronger in a lot of matchups. And again, do you really want to evolve this? You need to evolve Salifa pretty often. You need to evolve Windbird pretty often. Evolve is pretty expensive in that deck. So I'm not sure. But yeah, who knows? Moving on, we have a 3-mana 1/4 silver card. It is called Supplicant of Repose. And Fanfare, gain a Crest, Supplicant of Repose. So this is Fanfare, gain a Crest, which is useful because, again, you don't want to spend evolves for Crest if you're playing a Crest archetype. At the end of your turn, if allied followers didn't attack this turn, restore 1 defense to your leader. Heal for 4. 3-mana 1/4 heal for 4. It has Ward. I mean, with Ward, it's actually a maybe. With Ward, it's a maybe. Yeah. I was going to say it's kind of bad, but Ward kind of makes up for it because, first of all, it fits in Windbird decks. And second of all, it gives you a Crest, and you kind of want to have Crests. Because it's kind of a big deal. Just to remind you guys, like, the reason you really want to have Crests is stuff like this. End of your turn, if allied followers didn't attack, deal X damage split among all enemies, right? Per Crest. So, useful, right? Anyway. This card, for example, delays the counts of all your Crests by 1. It's kind of cool. So yeah. Again, Crest archetype. I think we need to see more cards before we make up our minds whether we want to play this or not, but pretty cool. Okay, yeah, this is not that big of a deal one time, but this happens every single turn, right? Every single turn having removal is kind of useful. Especially after mana 4, right? You get it after mana 4. So every turn dealing 3-4 ping. Like, imagine Onion. Onion does 1 ping per turn, and it's kind of useful, that 1 ping. This dealing 3 to 4 is solid. And sometimes even does, like, more. So, yeah, I think playable. And it hits face on empty board as well. True, that's a lot of damage long term. Especially if you're playing Lapis, which you probably are. You might even have lethal by mana 9 or 10 when Lapis is back. We have a 3-mana... Oh, I love the fact we have amulets, because I like amulets in general. Winged Lion Statue. Countdown 3. Last word. Summon a Holy Falcon and Holy Flame Tiger. So Falcon is a 2/2, right? If I'm not mistaken. That is really strong. That is really strong in terms of just tempo overall. Yeah, it takes a little while to get out, but just a generically strong card overall. 3 mana, 6/6. One has, yeah, solid card. Definitely playable. Great value with Gene, yes. Although with the Gene, you have to play it on mana 5, which is fine as well. Play a 2-drop, drop this, and it pops up with Gene. You have a 6/6 Rush and a 4/3 Storm, whatever. Yeah. Nice. Nice card. And last but not least, we have a 4 mana spell. It's Bronze. Usually Bronze are filler cards, so I don't have much faith, especially at 4 mana, but Saint's Flash. Deal 3 damage to all enemy followers. Enhance 8. Draw 3 cards and restore 3 to your leader? What? Card is trash. Your face is trash. Listen. First of all, this is broken in Take 2. This will break Take 2. Second of all, you guys need to remember that very often you drop your 6-cost amulet that wipes the board, right? It's on the board. So if you're not finding what you need, on 8, you can play this and wipe the board for free, right? If you found tempo to drop your 6-cost amulet. Drawing 3 cards, restoring 3 is really good if you're top decking. And if you're not top decking, you just play it as a 4/4. 4 mana, deal 3 to everything. 4 mana, deal 3 to everything is very good. It is very good, especially into matchups like Swordcraft, right? There's a lot of matchups that go wide. You need to clear early, and you just don't have it because you're waiting for Salifa. If, for example, I have played a lot of Amulet, Haven, and if you go first into Swordcraft, you lose. Why? Because Salifa's mana 5, and you lose on mana 4. This is really good. Being able to do mana 4, deal 3 to everything is solid. Solid. And then given the versatility that if you don't need it, it can refill your hand is solid for those really grindy matchups. Yeah, you guys are wrong, I think. I think this card is very solid. I think it's very playable. Now, you don't run 3 copies, I think, but you can run 1 or 2. How is 3 damage going to clear those super evolved units? What? What super evolved units? This is for mana 4. You play this on curve. Deal 3. At 4 mana. And then this is... Wait, how are you going to clear with the 6-cost landmark? If at some point you found a way to drop down your 6-cost amulet, you full clear. Anyway. Very cool card. All right. Moving along, we have Abysscraft. So, I believe the only card we haven't seen from Abysscraft is the new gold card. To put things in perspective, Abysscraft has the mode synergies happening. So, Congregant of Entwining, select a mode. It gives you 3 options. Summon a Congregant of Entwining. So she summons herself and gives herself Rush. Okay. So wait, this is a 5 mana 8/8. One of them is Rush? Isn't this already broken? And this gets Rush. What? That's already broken. That's already broken, dude. 5 mana 8/8 Rush is insane. For free, because you're also doing the quest. Summon it and give it and this follow reward, so giga versatility, or give them both 6/6, 12/12 stats on mana 5. Wait, how do you deal with that as Rune? What if you just play 12/12 stats on mana 5 versus Rune? How does Rune stop that? Well, I guess Anne still clears it, but she has to evolve, right? So you waste Anne's evolve, which is a really big problem. Oh, the third one doesn't copy. Oh, never mind. Okay, I take it back then. I take it back. It doesn't. Okay, never mind. Nah, yeah, okay, because that would have been busted. That's way too much tempo. This just gives all copies of herself, but she only has 1. And Super Evolve, you replicate, so you can do this twice. So, for example, you can go, for example, yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool that you can Super Evolve and replicate, although the really cool part is just the part where you don't evolve her at all. That's broken. Like, this and this is insane. I don't think the Super Evolve is that important, though. Okay. Actually, I wonder, is there any broken combo with this? And you can use the Storm Girl to give her... No, I don't think so. Let's see this one. So the first card we saw from Dragoncraft was the Hurt Yourself archetype. And I believe I've seen this one. Yes, the Hurt Yourself archetype as well. Now we're looking at the big dude. It is a 9 mana 5/7. I'm assuming it is control. Ajrafit, Heir to Disdain. Fanfare, do this 3 times. Have I seen this? Oh, do this 3 times, deal 2 damage to all followers. Okay, so 9 mana, deal 6 AoE, but it's better than that because it clears stuff like, for example, I don't know, Norman, or things with barrier, or like Swordcraft barrier. So it's better than, it's not as good as the 9-drop dragon that removes 9 HP, but still okay. Still solid. It has ward. Okay. It also, wait, it actually does deal damage to your own followers, which might be an upside because we're seeing a lot of stuff that deals damage to own followers. So it might actually be a good thing. Keep that in mind. But because it does deal damage to itself 3 times, it goes up to 1 HP. It has ward. When this follower takes damage, but isn't destroyed on your turn, deal 1 damage to enemy leader. Super evolve, fully restore this follower's defense. Do this 3 times. Wait. So this is just deal 6 to face, guaranteed. Wipe the board, guaranteed. Yo, that's kind of scary, man. 5/1 trash? I don't think it's trash. Guys, you're playing an archetype where you're building up things like deal 1 damage to all followers, right? Deal 1 damage to one of your followers. This is guaranteed face damage without having to use a super evolve. That's useful. And after super evolving him, he goes to 8/10 and then takes 6 damage 3 times. But he can't take damage because he's super evolved. So this is an 8/10 ward. And then you can just play a million fangs from hand. You're dealing a million damage to face. This is great. And then you have a unit you can use Ferocious Flame off of. You have... Yeah, this is a scary card. You guys are kind of weird with your take. This card is... It like puts the archetype kind of together, but it still requires a lot of other cards to make this work really well. I'm not sold on this yet. This is not replacing Twilight. Twilight's a better board clear because it doesn't require Super Evolve. It's a better card overall. For now. But if this is an archetype, this might be better. We'll have to wait and see. So, we have Runecraft. We all know I love Runecraft very much, although I hate playing it now because it's meta. We got ourselves a banished unit. And now we are looking at the second legendary. Raio, Elimination Manifest. Fanfare, reduce the cost of all followers in your deck by 3. Transform a random spell in your hand into Ursat's Elimination. And it costs 0 until end of turn. So this costs 0 when you play him. Increase the cost of all followers in your hand by 1. Destroy all enemy followers. Yeah, this is intentionally like this so that you don't play it with Declimb. Right? And so you don't play with Coctus. It's intentionally set up that way. The problem is it has to be cards in your deck and not in your hand. And this kind of ruins your hand as well because it increases all cost of followers by 1. But it is a 0 mana board wipe. So you can play this into 0 mana board wipe on curve, which is kind of strong. I still think Declimb is just a stronger deck than this. Like, I can't see this being good when you have options like Declimb, right? Keep in mind, you can play more than 1 copy of this. You can literally play 2 to 3 copies of Raio, and then you have 0 cost Odin's in deck as well. 3 cost Norman is really great, and Norman draws 3 cards. This can be quite strong. Do you know what the problem with this is, again, guys? Like, it's not just this. It's other decks that I'm seeing and other archetypes they're putting in there. The problem with this is this game has OTK combos. And this deck could be extremely strong if OTK combos didn't exist. So, if you can go to like mana 13, mana 14 consistently, this can be disgusting. But again, the problem is, I don't think you can do that. Because what if you run into somebody playing Declimb Coctus and they just beat you on 10? What if you run into Roach and they beat you on 7 or 8, right? How do you get to that point where these dreams are realities? Yeah, but Fenny can do it because of ramp. Rune can't ramp. Fenny can play Fenny on mana 5. And then you have like 4 more turns before Rune gets there. So yeah, this in Take 2 is crazy good. But yeah, overall, I have serious doubts about the viability of this in the meta. Unless we find a way to stop OTK, which I don't think we can right now. So for now, I'm going to say no to this archetype. Because again, it's too late. You need to be finishing the game, not starting the game at mana 9. But we'll see. All right. We have next Swordcraft. So we saw this guy dealing face with all of the new fuse cards, all of the new, what do you call them? Loot. All the new loot cards. Well, we got ourselves a new legendary. It is a 3 mana 3/3. Octrice, Hollow Manifest. Fanfare, gain a crest. Evolve, put a Gilded Blade and Gilded Necklace in your hand. So evolving this gives you 2 loot cards. Solid. Solid as a 3/3. I like it. Just good stat line overall. And the crest does what? Countdown 8. Whenever you play a loot card or fuse loot to a card, advance the countdown by 1. A last word, put a remnant of hollowness in your hand. What the hell is that? So, once you proc this, you get a 1-cost spell. Deal 4 damage split between all enemies. It can go face. You don't have to evolve her. Oh. Oh, she gives the crest for free. Yeah, you play this card for sure. 100%. You definitely play this card. I take it all back, chat. Quite good. Quite good. All right, you just play this on curve. It's a great 3-drop. This into Zirconia, fine, no problem. Evo for loot. Yeah, if you need loot, you Evo. Because their stat line is good. 3 mana 3/3. I don't know how good this archetype will be overall, but I guess we'll wait and see. All right. Last but not least, we have Forest Craft. And we saw Go Wide Rush Ward, like a much inferior version of Goldaria, but it's Forest. Now we get to see the first legendary, and it looks like a control legendary. I could be wrong here. I'm hoping this isn't Roach Synergy. 4 mana 1/3, Krulle. Heir to Unkilling. Fanfare, give all enemy followers in the field -2. That's interesting. Wow. It's like a better Apollo. A lot of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. That's super, super interesting. Wow, that's really already very good. So first of all, this deals with like sword going wide and getting barriers. It removes barriers, which is nice. Because sword barriers are a pain, right? This can be... It's not quite great for golems, because golems are 3 HP, but overall, not needing to evolve it. This also cucks sword so hard in mana 4. Regardless... Yeah, great versus certain matchups. Ambush. Wait, it just gets ambush for free? Once on each of your turns, when an enemy follower is given minus defense in the field, restore... Oh. Okay. Restore 1 HP once per turn. Super Evolve. Give your opponent a crest whenever an allied follower enters the field. Oh my... Chat, we're playing Forest. We're Forest mains. I'm a Forest enjoyer, always have been. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a Forest enjoyer. Rip Onions. Yep, the Onion Massacre. I love it. This is a cool card. It's not that easy for her to survive with 3 HP because there's a lot of ways to deal 3 AoE, but it's a very cool card. But they need so many more control cards to make this viable. We got to see a lot more. Now I'm excited to see more Forest cards come out. Oh, it's Countdown 2? Oh no! It's Countdown 2! Oh, it's not that good. Give your opponent crest. Oh my god, that's so bad. So wait, it's 1 turn. Because your opponent gets it and it starts at his start. So this is only for 1 turn. Wow, because your opponent gets the crest, and then the moment his turn starts, it counts down. This crest is really bad. Now, to be fair, you can use this sometimes. For example, if you need to stop a Cerberus turn, great. If you want to stop, what else would you want to stop? It's good versus Orcus. It stops a lot of damage. Like, in emergency scenarios, this is useful. And this Fanfare ability is great. This Ambush has potential. This is just like a niche thing, right? When you're worried, you play it. Yeah. You super evolve it if you're worried. Correct. Quinn is an unplayable win con. With this? Why? I mean, yeah, he gets less damage, I guess. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 less damage, right? So instead of hitting 10, it hits for 6. Oh, 2-1 gets removed before fuse as well. Wow. So it's 5, actually. It's a 5 attack unit. Yeah. So yeah, actually useful in some scenarios. If you're playing versus Kuon, for example, if you're playing versus... yeah, I mean, you mainly played for the fanfare, and the ambush is kind of cool, I guess. I still like it a lot. Very cool card. All right, that is it for all the new cards that we've seen so far. So maybe tomorrow we'll do one last video, and then we're going to actually play the cards themselves. That's it. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I hope you liked my takes on the cards. Tell me if you agree or disagree, and I will see you all on the next video. Peace!